Today I'm going to show you how to play with one of these. The metronome. That metronome, that's right. Some of you have already got some experience with one, and that's just great. More power to you. Today I'll show you how to do everything with one of these things. If you've never used one, I'll give you a quick minute lesson on how to get started. Start off at like 100 beats a minute. Turn your amp off, if you don't warrant the amp yet. And go back to your open chords and just learn to strum them at like 120 or 100 beats per minute, wherever you're comfortable. Something like this. And just get on your open chords and do down up strums, the 8th note. You need to get 2 strums per click for the 8th note. So if you just practice that, and if you can't even get that, well, then drop back to this. Once you can get the quarter note, then you move to the 8th note. Okay? And if you don't really want, if you really can't bring yourself to do that, then I guess you could start with just a simple 8th note power chord. But if you can't play open chords to an 8th note strum at 100 beats per minute, I'm questioning what you're doing here then. So, now we get into actual exercises. So this is at 120 beats per minute, and you can pretty much start all your exercises at the same speed so that they all kind of come up together. You really don't want to have one exercise. You don't want one exercise you can do at 120 and one you can do at 180. That would be horrible. You don't want to be developing like that at all. That's lump-sided developing, and that is bad. I don't recommend it at all. And I didn't teach any of that. So if you're doing that, if you're over there saying you can do this at 180 but you can't do anything else at 180, then I didn't teach you that. So be able to do everything, okay? So we're going to start with 120 something. I think it's at 126 maybe. I'm not really seeing it too well. But we're going to start with some simple exercises, basic stuff, and then I'll move right into the stuff, higher, more advanced things. Talk as least as much as I can and show you as much as I can in the shortest amount of time so we can get right into it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is just do it. Everything, by the way, is alternate picked. So, check this out. Don't do it like that. Don't do this either. Make sure you're focused. Make sure you're clean. And start on the first string and get the speed down on the string first. Don't just rifle down the strings like that, because that's what you're going to get. Now do it like this. Establish your speed. That's basically how you start that. And then you just move to the other finger. Then you move the pattern. The reason why you hit the end note as the 4th note, it's really the first note of the next pattern. Even though you're stopping, you want to know that your next setup would have been on time. So you end on an on-time note. Now, you move the pattern out, and you can start stretching the fingers out a little wider. As you get closer, you can start doing 4s, things like this. And so, when you do these other moves now, another move you can do is the chromatic move. So you got your triplet move there. I guess you could even do a pentatonic thing if you want to do a hammer-on move. Great little hammer-on practice move would be the pentatonic box 1. Just hammer your way up and down the box like this. That's just double the speed. You can even, if it's slow enough, you can double it like that. Now let's move a little faster. So now you guys are realizing how to do it at the slower speeds. Some of you guys are ready for the quicker speeds. You move it up. As you're progressing your time, you'll keep moving it up. You can probably move up a few clicks a week if you do it every day. You just start following the click. If you're picking every eighth note like that, well then I'm just running up and down the pattern, do it or however order I want to put the notes to be in. Whatever order I want. I'm not going straight up and down. I'm playing around. Because isn't it supposed to be fun to practice, right? This isn't just, we're not robots. There's emotion behind this. And when you start getting it, you're like, holy cow, man, like I'm getting this. So yes, there's emotion to it and it feels good. And then you start altering things to push your boundaries, see what you're capable of. See what else you can throw in there. That's the one we're waiting for, the 16th note. 4 notes per click. So let's start that one off slower so I can show everybody how to do that. If you haven't been able to do 16th notes to the metronome, they're very easy. The only thing is, you have to know where to start. If you know where to start, they are very easy. If you're starting in the wrong spot, they can be difficult. So the wrong spot is any place you can't do 4 beats per click. That's the wrong spot. So you're going to start with being able to do 4 of them. So you got to figure it out. I got to figure this out too because I don't play down here. I haven't done this in, I don't know, decades. So let's get back down here. There it is. I can't even find it. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, watch this. So when you come down here and do this, sometimes you just got to find yourself, I'm just playing around. You got to get to the spot where you just find your 4s like this. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and you count it out first. That's the trick. I was just, farting around there. But you count it out first, and if you count it, you'll know exactly how fast to play it. You'll play it as fast as you say it. So, 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the... Where's that note? So yeah, naturally, I sing on the E, and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 1. So... Now, if you noticed, if you're paying attention, I played through that a few times on purpose. I wanted to see if I'm losing your attention. Because if you paid attention, you'll notice that I drifted off time and came back. Twice. On purpose. So you can understand how to get back when you drift. Because you will drift. I don't ever drift unless I want to. If I do something like that, believe me, it's on purpose. So what I did was, for your sake, I drifted and got off the beat and kept playing and then found my way back on. And that is what you're going to do. If you stop every time you miss, then you're never going to learn. It's like if you keep resetting your video game every single time you die for the first time. I don't know. They give you 4 or 5 lives because they want you to use them all to see how far you can get on 5 lives or 3 lives, not 1. So you got to keep playing all the way through. That's the point of the game. That is the point of the guitar. You do not stop and start over. You just find your way onto the beat. If you're so far off that you really can't find it, yes, you've got to stop. But you don't want to stop unless you've already exhausted yourself trying to get back on the beat. You're going to jump ahead because you're going to think, because not that you can't find it, but you're going to realize that in order to find it, you've either got to go a little faster to slow up to it, or you're going too slow and you got to catch up to it because you don't know where it is until you figure out where it is. So while you're figuring it out, you're going to drift far faster or slower. So you just keep playing. If you're slower, then you just keep playing faster until you get there. If you go past it, then you keep playing, but you slow up. Just like I did. You did not see me stop. You didn't see me change. I just figured out how to get back on the beat. I listened and I waited and I slowed up and caught back on that beat. Usually that's what you do. You just kind of slow down a pinch because you're probably a little fast, and then you jump back on that beat. If you watch the way I did it, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's why I played her through 5 or 6 or 7 frets, so you can understand what happens when you drift. Everybody drifts with the metronome when you first get started, and it can be very discouraging. So please understand that everybody goes through it, and you need to start slowly and work your way up. Now let's show you. I will show you some 16th notes at some higher speeds so you can see what they look like, because I'm sure some of you are dying to see that. Let's see what you'll sound like when you're up here at these speeds. Let's see the intro that I wrote at was at like 176. So this is 176 right here. That's 176. I wrote a song there once and it goes like this, and I'll show you the pattern. Comes out of the Aeolian box in F sharp minor and the Aeolian box at a C sharp minor. It's pretty much the same thing twice. So it's just a practice exercise at 176. But 176 with your 16th notes, go to my neck pickup because it's smoother, it's easier. You can start on the high string if you want to. Some people think it's easier there. Let's back her down to 176. So you start with just a simple chromatic thing. Start with 2 strings, maybe the A and D, because they're not as blurry, it's not as muffled, it's cleaner. So you maybe do this. Something like that. Now again, I'm trying to lean this guitar over into the camera for you, so I'm going to pull back. I'm getting up here now. We'll do 2. Here's 200. Now I got to pull back a pinch, and I got to get seated so I can actually see what I'm doing here for you. Taking this out of the chromatic exercise that it is, and putting it into a box pattern of, say, E Aeolian, look like this. So let's just see. This one maxes out at 208 beats per minute, so that looks like this. Something like that, you know. Anyway, that's what it is. And so, you know, it's not perfect, but, you know, I'm just trying to show you how to play at that speed. But if I was recording, I would make sure I'm, you know, a little cleaner than that. But I'm just, for the sake of the exercise and to show you what the speed looks like, you're just kind of traveling along there. You're counting your beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're hitting on the ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're just hitting on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what happens. You just kind of crank it along there. Anyway, that is how you play to the metronome. Now, if you want to do real quick before I go, if you want to write your rhythms, like I said, you can write rhythms. You set this up at the speed that songs are written around, 120, 130, 140. And so like this would be, just if you want to write it, say 152. Here you are writing at 152. You're like, hey, bandmate, drummer guy, give me a beat at 152. He throws down the drums at this speed, and you're like... So that's a typical speed you'll see stuff at, 130, 140. And you get in there, and if you can play your solos and work these exercises at 160, 180, 190, 200, well, then when you're dropping back to the 130, 140, you're writing rhythms, no problem. And then you just sit around your house and you just write. And you write, and you just come up with your stuff all day long. Guys, that's how you use the metronome. Leave a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, leave one, and hopefully somebody chops your head off. Hey, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.